Morning.
I love your backdrop, Diane. Hi, Jennifer.
It's actually a screen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Where are you guys from? Oh, Washington. I see you're in Washington. Diane, where are you in?
New York.
So it's almost 10 there.
Where are you from?
Arizona. So it's 7 here, or almost 7.
Yeah, it's 6. It was 6. It's almost 7 now.
Too early. Go back to sleep.
Too early to be talking.
Yeah. It doesn't help. It could turn cold again. I'm like, no.
Hi, Michaela.
Out here.
Ooh, I need to run and get my glasses.
I can't see.
Okay, so thank you so very much for being here. This is our 14th Global Live Speaker Summit, and I am so excited that you are here. But before we get started, this is my very difficult host moment, because I just want us to take one moment to respect one of our partners, Maria Kompanowski, who we were notified yesterday that she has passed on. It just came as a sudden, and it's so hard for me that I really wanted to end this, but I thought, this is what she would want. And the topic today, how to find your voice to impact others, just came in so handy. So please, if we can take a moment to respect her, and if you're a spiritual person, say a little prayer, but just to say that she was amazing, she was a partner, she was a mentor, and she impacted many lives. So thank you so very much for that. I really do appreciate you. So our topic this week is about how to impact your voice, how to find your voice to impact others. But before going into the topic and introducing the speakers, I would love to take you through why we do what we do and how this was started. So Global Speakers is an international company that was founded by the amazing Ansu Tiwaru, and she's a mother, she's a wife as well. She is a best-selling author, and her book is on Amazon, Rejection to Redirection. She is a personal growth trainer and loves traveling. She's traveled over 33 mountains in India, including Nepal country as well. So I'd like to give a round of applause for starting this, for all of us to be here today, because we don't usually celebrate her, but I just thought that we need to acknowledge that she created this for us. So we are a public speaking industry which organizes online events for uncovering, discovering, and enlightening your inner voice all over the globe. So Global Speaker Summit is determined to raising and lifting and encouraging and inspiring new coaches, speakers, trainers who are camera shy to face the fears and do it anyway. Globals, we are here for you and your voice, providing you with accountability and a big warm community to share feedback, to strengthen your voice and confidence. Our core values we believe that every voice, every new voice is a story to be told, to see the light, grow and impact the world. Our vision is we aim to inspire and raise over 1 million inner voices and show them that you actually have the potential to go after your dreams and goals. if you are watching this and you're still here and you love to be our next speaker in our next summit, you can go on www.globallivespeakers.com and fill out a simple form, and we can review that in our next online event. We have a global speakers community whereby we get to practice, we get to give each other feedback, we get to do all the, we value and believe in you. And if you want to come and join us, we are everywhere on Instagram, on YouTube, and a global community as well. So as that is out of the way, I will introduce myself to you. I am Josephine Kalagira, the host of Global Speakers Talk. I'm a best-selling author with an award for women empowerment. I'm a life coach, and I absolutely love flowers and the sunshine. And the reason why I love flowers is that they don't dream, they just blossom. And my story started when I had a personal injury over 5 years ago. I became disabled. My son at the age of 5 became a young carer. And what got me out of that, from a dark place, even though I was physically, emotionally drained, and I thought, it's gonna end. My faith and the hope and the can-do attitude is what saw me through to get to where I am today, and I was able to find my voice. And now I inspire and empower ambitious people to understand that what you're going through cannot define the person you are if you don't allow it. And I empower, I help you to understand that your story is your foundation to get back up stronger than ever before. And without any further ado, I am going to introduce you to our first speaker, who is going to speak for about 3 minutes. 3 to 4 minutes. We will create room for someone to ask the question that they would love to answer. But for now, we're going to give our first speaker about 3 minutes to talk about our topic today. And her name is Emanuela Hall. She is a speaking and visibility coach, an actress, a movement instructor, and a homeschooling mama for 2. And above all, she loves stories. She believes that creativity matters and that stories unite us, and everyone has got one to share. Emanuela found her own story when she struggled postpartum anxiety and breastfeeding. She turned her experience into award-winning one-woman play and from then she became obsessed with helping others to heal, create, and connect through sharing her story. Emanuela now works with growth-minded entrepreneurs and creatives to make bigger impact by helping them to speak with authority, embody their leadership. She uses body, breathe, and voice work to help clients feel empowered and confident. She loves music, food, and dancing on the beach. So now let's put our hands together to welcome the amazing Emanuela.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. This is my second time speaking. I had so much fun last month that I was like, can I please come back and do it again? So thank you for having me again. I have a little bit of time. So what I actually wanted to do today with all of you is a quick little warm up so that all the speakers here who are going to be sharing their amazing message are going to feel really great when they go to speak, because we know that speaking, we always say this, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But there have been studies that show that actually 55% of the message that we hear comes from what we see, and then 38% comes from the sounds we hear, and only 7% of the meaning we take from the message comes from the words. So it's really important that we warm up our body, because that's where our voice lives, and then we practice our breathing and we warm up our articulators. So we're going to do that together. You're welcome to stay seated if standing is not available for you, or you just don't want to. You can even turn your camera off and just watch me and kind of like do what you can. but I'm going to stand up and then we will sit back down again. Hopefully you can see me quick. So the first thing you want to do to warm up as a speaker is definitely move your body. Get that energy flowing. So even if that means just going for a walk, doing a little bit of light stretching, okay, let's just stand with our feet about hip distance apart, or again, you can totally do this sitting down. We're just going to take a deep breath in and reach the arms up. And I want you to take a big sigh out the mouth. Just let it go. Release whatever you brought into this space. Let's do that again. Maybe bend the knees, breathe in, reach big up. If you want, you can go up on your tiptoes. Exhale. Good. And then we're just going to roll down from the hips. So again, you can do this in a chair. You'll just widen your legs a little bit. And you want to let your body hang. Shake your head no, shake your head yes, shake your head maybe, shake your shoulders. And then vertebrae by vertebrae, you're going to stack. Let your head come up last. Good. Okay. And if you had a little more time, let's shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Do whatever you need to do. Shake the pelvis, shake the hips. All right, now place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, and we're going to practice a few rounds of diaphragmatic breathing. So you want only the hand that's on your belly to be moving. When we push our stomach out, our diaphragm can drop, and therefore we can bring in a little bit more air into the lungs. That's going to help us to support our voices more. It's also going to help us switch into parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and relax system. So if you're a little bit nervous before you talk, this is going to help. So here we go. Breathe into that belly, in through the nose, and then out through the mouth. Draw the navel in. Let all that breath go. Relax. You can close your eyes if that feels better. Helps you tune in. And let's try that again. Big belly breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. All right, and then we want to warm up our articulators, the muscles in our face. So let's rub our hands together, build some heat in those hands. And when they're nice and warm, you're going to place them on your cheeks. You can sit down now if you want. It's always good to stand. It helps our posture, right? So if you're sitting, try and sit on a seat that your hips are higher than your knees so that you get a nice tall spine. And we're going to massage the jaw. Just some tapping here, tapping on the sinuses, around. And you can take some breaths into the face as you do this. Now let's open our mouth wide like a lion. I'm going to see all your beautiful tongues. And then squeeze like you're sucking on a lemon. And open and squeeze. And then clean your teeth with your tongue. Now you all know I'm an actress, right? Only us theater people do weird stuff. Clean your teeth with your tongue. And then blow through the lips. Okay, and the last thing I want you to do is think of your resonating tone. So I want you to just hum into your face, and I want you to find a pitch that makes your lips vibrate. So you're gonna just hum, and then you're gonna open the hum into an ah. Hum, you're gonna chew it around. Hum, ah. And when you find that nice vibration on your lips, that's actually the perfect pitch for you to speak at that's gonna help your voice resonate. And finally, let's do some tongue twisters. Unique New York 5 times. Unique New York, unique New York, unique New York, unique New York, unique New York. All right, so you should hopefully feel, this was a very quick little warm up, but hopefully you feel like your energy is moving, your face is woken up, and your voice maybe will resonate a little bit more with your audience. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so excited to hear all of you speakers.
Thank you so very much, Emanuela. That was really, really helpful. Thank you so very much. I hope you've all got now your pens, your pencils, your notebooks and everything, because we usually take tons of notes from these talks. So thank you so very much. So we have our first speaker, who is the amazing Diane Sassano. She is an intuitive coach, master of a hypnotherapist, and psychic medium. She is a spiritual healer and has done that over 40 years, marrying science and psychotherapy, parapsychotherapy. She is board certified as a master of NLP and a practitioner. Her story began as a young child when she was misdiagnosed by a psychiatrist who saw her gifts as illness. His treatment caused her heart to stop. And after coming back to life, Diane chose to embrace her gifts and has been using them to help others ever since. Diane has gained national recognition for her unprecedented ability to give women a chance to discover and express their authentic voice, allowing them to make impact they are meant to make in the world. She's especially committed to healing with women who have endured being cruel, oh, I can't spell that word, and those people who have suffered violent acts, and those people who have suffered young in silence. Through her compassion, commitment, and her many healing modalities, she gives women back their freedom of choice and sense of ownership over their lives. Let's put our hands together to welcome the amazing Diane.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. Good morning to everybody. I am honored to be and proud to be here today to speak on a topic that is very close to my heart and one that I teach to my clients. I always say the journey that we take for ourselves is the footprints that we leave in this lifetime. It's easy to get caught up in examining our actions instead of deeply examining ourselves. This can be deceiving because our actions may be very spiritual. We meditate, are nice to people, take ourselves and others, and yet we may not be penetrating to the issues below the surface. It's as if we've washed and shined the surface of our car without taking time to check under the hood. We may appear to be in great shape, but we aren't engaging in the deep inner work of self-examination. The chances are good they are not deeply connected to the real substance of our lives. We live in a very appearance-orientated, externally focused world. So it makes it sense that we place a lot of value on how our lives look, sometimes to the detriment of noticing how our lives really feel. When we get too caught up in what we are doing and lose track of our core, we sometimes begin to feel disassociated, as if we are not fully awake, alive, and grounded. This is a sure sign that it's time to engage in the hard work of going deep within to rediscover the foundation of our lives and the voice we want the world to hear. As a healer, that is my passion and purpose, to help people find their true voice. Without the substance comes from looking at ourselves deeply and working through the difficult things that we find. Our spiritual, physical, and emotional lives can start to feel that hollow or shallow. It's as if there's nothing at the center holding you all together. When we lose or do not know ourselves, the real self, we detach and rely on the external to drive the conversation. Is that who we are? Is that what we've become? Is that who you are? Is this the real voice that you want to echo out to the world? Of course, the peace that comes from connecting to our inner being, using a practice and/or modality, which can anchor our inner and external voices, creates a balance of harmony that flows, that makes a bridge and connection that connects to the two halves that make a whole of deeper realization of what our purpose is here and how our voice, our truth, can create change. Spiritual practice is an essential part of the whole picture of our self-development. It serves us best in conjunction with the less settling, more chaotic work of digging around below the surface to see what needs to be healed, owned, or released. Only then, our actions are more than just an attempt to keep everything in control, looking pretty and nice. Fueled by the energy of a life in transformation, they become powerful expressions of courage and faith, further inspiring our own inner work and that of those around us. As a woman who has gone through many awakenings, I find myself listening to my innate knowing. The universe has stood before me this year, not whispering, but very clearly stating that change must come. We must awaken the sleeping inner knowing to heal ourselves in the world. These past years were a time of self-reflection, a pause to realign our beings, reconnect, move out of the old paradigm to create a new and lasting change. We were made to feel and witness profound discomfort and uncertainty. The world has been challenged by fires, hurricanes, floods, and a pandemic of such magnitude that we denied that it was not natural. We were scripted to create and keep silent. This is not a world at peace, nor is it a world of unification through truth and our voice. It is a voice of control and manipulation. Our very birthright, the basis of being, is to live our truth, and that is done through our voice. People say this time is unprecedented. I say it's about time. We know the way of change, but resist moving along the path of shifting into our birthright. We question the very existence of what we know to be true. We pay attention to the narrative of the ego. We are souls having a human experience. Who's to say we can't operate from a place of light and love and use the voice we were gifted with? Through this difficult time, the one constant emotion in which is the voice of the country and the world is anger, contemptuous onslaught creating lasting wounds through all of us. We feel weak, unable to break the bonds of fear instilled by the media, politicians, and our own ignorance in trusting their voice of untruth. We're paralyzed and unable to act because we were told that the very voice we carry does not matter. We are self-aware people. We cannot distance ourselves from this world. Our purpose as a people is to empower others to look at their perspective, however different from ours. People are dealing with emotions that are so unfamiliar to them. They do not know how to traverse this journey of connecting with self. They do not know how to realign the internal to make sense of the external. We as coaches, consultants, healers have the capacity to rise above this. This is the year of rebirth. This is the year to experience this life with new eyes. Have witnessed and much choose with to jump. This is the jump off point for us. As custodians of this planet and its people, we are not meant to fail, but to shift the energies like the wind, guide, grow, and nurture the very beings that are in pain, lost among the darkness. Our battle lies in the shadows versus the light. We who are here today, every one of us, are the light bringers of this world, stepping forward and pushing back the darkness. We are the sovereign beings of this divine planet, carrying out the continuum of life. Empowering self is to transition to a world with infinite possibilities. We as humans are graced with love and empathy to help bring choices for the betterment of all using our voices. From my personal journey to achieve a healthy mind, body, and soul, I practice meditation, coming back to my inner child. I bask in the emotions, have a conversation, and I'm thankful, aware, and able to discern my inner dialogue with my external dialogue. Listen to the whispers of the past, the present, and the future. And know to heal past patterns and beliefs, come into the present, whole without regret. When you heal within, that is your way out. Your voice is who you are. Step from behind the fear and be present. Hand on heart, follow the rhythmic beat into connecting your love into all who you are. And as I said, the journey we take for ourselves is the footprints that we leave in this life. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so very much, Diane. I didn't want you to stop. I thought you were still going. Thank you so very much. That's amazing. If you do, any of our audiences, if you do have any questions, please put them in the comments or write them down. And if we get time at the end, will be answering them for you, or Diane or any speaker will be answering those for you. Thank you so very much. Really do appreciate that. Our next guest is the amazing Celie. She is a self-love and meditation coach. She lives in the US, and she's also the founder of Glow Mantra, a meditation center that helps individuals heal their mind, body, and soul through finding self-love. Through the use of guided meditation and sound therapy, she helps people uproot all that is blocking them from being the best versions of themselves. She is also very passionate about helping individuals discover and embrace their sides of self, and then so they can authentically be who they are, glowing uniquely in their own confidence, happiness, and acceptance. Let's put our hands together to welcome the amazing C.
Hi everyone, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. So the topic today about how to find your voice to impact others is a very important one, and I feel like it's one of the first steps for most of us, especially as healers or coaches, is to really find your voice. And to find your voice, you really have to find yourself. Because your voice is yourself. It's through you. It belongs to you, and you have to really go and find yourself. And finding yourself means getting curious about yourself and asking yourself questions like, what makes you you? You know, and really digging deep and going in and looking at yourself from a place of love. And that's where self-love comes in. Self-love is much more than taking care of yourself or making yourself a priority. It's mostly about you really digging deep and finding you, because you are there. It's just with society, with your culture, family, friends, people that are close to you, they all impact you in a way. And along through life, we all pick up these limiting beliefs, right? These beliefs that kind of cover us, kind of cloud us, kind of push our voice down. You know, it's kind of like, imagine like your palm. When it's closed like this, with all the limiting beliefs all around you, there's no way for you to really voice yourself, to give your voice to others. And when you start uncovering all those beliefs and you open up your palm, your voice is there. You're able to now give to others. You're able now to give your voice. And that could be, you know, through forgiveness, forgiving yourself or letting go of those limiting beliefs, visiting those shadows, embracing your ugly side, you know. And really, it's not ugly. It's actually very beautiful. It just needs light. It just needs love. And why do you want to do this? So you're going to want to do this because this is how your clients are going to be able to relate to you. This is how they're going to be able to see you, your story, your path, your journey. It all starts from uncovering yourself, your experiences, and that's how you really find your passions too. What you stand for, you know, what you stand against. You know, maybe your whole life you've been in toxic relationships, and now your voice is to step out there and help people out of toxic relationships. Maybe your voice is to help new moms. Maybe your voice is to help people who are dealing with anxiety or trauma, whatever it is. Looking at your limiting beliefs, looking at your life experiences, loving yourself, forgiving yourself, focusing on yourself is really how you're going to find your voice. And when you do that, you allow your clients to also start seeing you, start hearing you, and start wanting to be in your circle. Then you can start serving your clients as well, because now they see you and your voice and what you do and how you're going to impact them. Okay, and how you can really use your voice to impact others is to find that modality that works for you in particular, whether it's through poems, meditations, sound healing, maybe just writing a book, or starting a course. It could just be tarot reading or astrology, whatever it is that you want to use to help your clients find it and go after it and really run with it. And then you want to find the business model that works for you, whether you're going to be a one-on-one coaching session or a group coaching, or you're going to be using Instagram to use your voice, your YouTube or TikTok or Facebook, whatever it is. You want to find it and find the one that you love doing, you love using. You don't want to try to find too many methods, because then you're going to be spread out. You want to keep a clear path to your goal so that you can share your voice. And once you keep on that clear path, then you start finding that you enjoy your work, and then your work becomes your passion. And we all know how a passion works, right? When you're passionate about something, then you want to do it more. And when you do it more, you become consistent. And when you become consistent, you build confidence, right? And with confidence, everything just comes easier. And when it becomes easier, you're able to share your voice with the world with ease. And you're able to be you authentically, not someone that, you think that you should be. Because I find that a lot of times people have a problem stepping out and sharing their voice because they feel like they're not enough, or they don't have all the certifications, or that they're a fraud, whatever it is. When you do the work and you love yourself and you remove all those limiting beliefs, or embrace them, or work on them, whatever you got to do, it's easier for you to share your voice. It just becomes easy, and work no longer is work. Work is now play, and that's what you want to do. You want to play, and by playing, that's how we're going to share our voice. So to end this, I want to leave you guys with a statement that I use for myself personally to keep my voice authentically mine. And that statement is, I am free to be who I am. Therefore, I am free to voice what I am. And I am love. So I hope you guys take this statement and maybe switch it around, make it into yours, whatever it is that you are, make it you, and go out there and use your voice. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. See, thank you so very much. That was very informative, very crystal clear, very like you can go away and use that like straight away. So thank you so much. Again, please put your questions, give some feedback, put some questions in the comments. Towards the end, we'll find some time to ask our guests to answer those for you. So our next guest is the amazing Jennifer Braden-Phipps. She is an international speaker, host of Permission to Change podcast. She is a passionate master connect of people who love supporting change-driven, passionate entrepreneurs to expand their superpowers and embrace their unique lives. As a serial entrepreneur, wife and a mother of 3 kids and 3 bonus children, she knows the importance of balance and shares her skills on how to pivot as needed and welcome change as an opportunity. To learn more about Braden-Phipps and permission to change, check out her website, which is www.braden-phipps.com. Let's put our hands together to welcome Jennifer.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here. And when I was preparing for today, I came across this quote by Nania Hoffman, and I thought it really spoke to what I wanted to talk about today around finding your voice. And it's, if you want to know who your tribe is, speak your truth and see who sticks around. Those are the people who get a spot in your blanket fort. And I just thought that was really a great way to think about it, that we want to speak on the things that we know and that we feel passionate about, so that we do bring in the people that matter to us most, that align with us, who can actually hear our message. Because if they don't align with us, they're not going to hear our message anyway. And so I think the very first thing in finding our voice is knowing that we have something to share and figuring out what that is. What are you passionate about? What can you get up every day and talk on that you feel good about? But then what comes along with that so often is that when we're thinking about these things we want to share, that we know in our hearts because it's something that we have experienced or something we've learned, we get caught in the idea that, oh my goodness, but I don't have alphabet soup behind my name. I don't have all the right certifications. Who am I to talk on this? But here's the incredible thing. I used to feel that way too. And then when I thought about, wait a minute, who impacts me the most when I'm trying to learn about something, or when I want to know something, or I'm uncomfortable? It's the person who is the average everyday person. It wasn't the expert in it, because they're so far beyond where I'm starting at that I can't even relate to them. I don't feel like I can get there when I follow them, though I might get their information. But then I want to find someone in that world that is just going through it, that's just ahead of me, just enough that they can understand what I'm going through so I can get there too. And so I really feel like everyone has the opportunity to share their voice and impact others, because you are ahead of someone. You will always be just ahead of someone on their journey, and you will always be just behind someone on their journey. So if you can share your voice, someone needs that. Someone is out there waiting for the unique way that you're going to share. You can hear the same topic over and over and over again by different people, and there's going to be someone that resonates with your way of doing it, because nobody has experienced things the same way that you have. You bring in your own absolute unique situation. You've learned it in a different way. And so when I'm working with people that are struggling with, okay, I have this imposter syndrome, which I don't really know how I feel about that word, but the idea around it, I encourage them to, I have a little exercise that I do, and I'd like you all to do it if you would like, is get out a piece of paper and a pen. And I want you to think about your identity. And I feel like this is where people get caught up in sharing their voice, is that they question their identity, because we have learned as a society to make our identity about what we are. So we say, I'm a speaker, I'm an electrician, I'm a teacher, whatever that is. But that's really, our identity is really our overreaching sense of self. And when we think of our identity as what we do, that is ever changing. And when we do that, it leaves us very unsettled, because we've attached to something that isn't going to be the same forever, and that isn't truly our core. So if we can shift our mindsets and to start aligning ourselves with our identity as who we are instead of what we are, then we can really ground ourselves. And when we do that, we have more comfort in sharing our voice because it's coming from deep inside. And I like to talk on the idea of who you are is your superpower. So get out that piece of paper and I want you to write down some of the things that describe who you are. So you can start to shift your identity. And this can be, just to give you some things to get started, is, are you calm? Are you the kind of person that when it's chaotic around, you're calm? And so that's your superpower. You can bring the room around you into a space of knowing. Are you an innovator? Are you one of the people that can think outside the box and help others come up with unique and different ideas? Maybe you're incredibly organized. This is not one of my superpowers. Maybe you're really organized and you know where everything is at all the time. Whatever it is, write down 5, 6, just scribble them down. Don't overthink them. And the reason I think it's important to have these superpowers and to know them and to keep adding to them is because then they create for you what I call your super suit. This is that thing that produces your armor. So when you put your voice out into the world, because like I said in the beginning, your tribe is not everyone, but when you put your voice out into the world, someone is going to disagree with you. Someone is not going to like what you have to say. Someone is going to question your authority. Who are you to speak on this? But when you have your superpowers on, when you have your super suit on, and you can look back on the things that make you uniquely you, who you are, and you can look at where have these superpowers that I have, where have I used them in a situation that they have benefited? You just give yourself more and more strength to go, if not me, then who? I know this stuff. I feel good about this. And I don't care if you don't want to be in my blanket for it. And so that is that is my favorite thing to do when people are struggling with why me? How do I know that I'm important enough to say something, is to really look at who you are and take away the what. And that's all I have to say on this. And I hope that this was helpful for someone.
That is fantastic, Jenny. Thank you so very much. Really do appreciate it. Appreciate that. I hope you're taking notes. We love taking notes here, and you're learning as well. So without any further ado, I would love to invite our next guest, who is called Michaela Trainor. She lives in Canada. She is a wife, a mother, a life coach who is also living with ADHD. Rather than letting ADHD define who she is, Michaela embraces it. Simply put it as another part of a human experience. Michaela's mission in life is to show others, especially moms who are struggling with their own ADHD, to fully engage in whatever they strive to accomplish in their lives. She has embraced the gifts of ADHD and can show others how to creatively use those superpowers to their advantage. Let's put our hands together to the amazing Michaela.
Well, thank you. That was a lovely introduction. I'm pleased to be here. This is kind of the first time I've done a speaking engagement. So I in terms of ADHD and your voice impact, and I thought a lot about writing it, who am I to say how your voice impacts others, such as imposter syndrome. And so I said, you know what, embrace your ADHD brain. I thought about this for a long time, and I kind of wrote out some things last night, but this is who I am. So therefore I'm winging it. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background, simply because that is how I found my voice. So I grew up an only child, and growing up, I felt like my feelings and opinions didn't matter, at least at home, maybe a little bit at school. And especially with our extended family gatherings, they were quite boisterous. So trying to say, if I had something to say, it took 3 or 4 or 5 attempts to say something. And then by then I was like, well, it really doesn't matter in the end anyway, because nobody's going to listen to me, right? Now that's changed as I grew up. But I've always cared about helping others. So that was kind of how I coped through school. It was always about someone that was, I wouldn't say less than me, but people that were kind of off to the side more than I was. So I was always helping others, not fitting in, because I also felt like I never fit in. And I wasn't sure why that was, but it didn't bother me too much because I was always helping. So therefore, I had kind of low self-esteem, even though I was helping. I still had some low self-esteem, didn't quite know my voice. And that led to having a relationship that wasn't necessarily good for me. But, it ended up I had a child from it. And honestly, I wouldn't change anything about my past because it led to me right where I am today. And so, I am right exactly where I am, what I'm supposed to be doing. So, and I'm happy with the decision that I made. So leaning back into like when my child was born, I decided that, I can't let people treat him the way I was treated. So I am going to protect my child. Come hell or high water, I was protecting my child. So that certainly helped me raise my vibration to help with my voice. When I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I had gone to some support groups, and through then I had already finished university. The psychiatrist at the time that I had, she was wonderful. And she was very helpful, but she was very supportive to me. And she absolutely helped me find my voice, because at that time I wanted to become a counselor, taking courses. And she said, you can hang out your sign. She gave me some impact there. So a couple of years ago, I decided to step into becoming a life coach. And I thought, who am I to do this? But I decided that because you are your best client, I am a mom with ADHD. So let's help moms with ADHD. So I'm just kind of starting out, but I've coached people all my life. So, and then I've worked on, empowering myself into personal growth. So that's what I found really helped me, is your personal growth. And where am I at with that? Sorry, this is brand new to me. Yeah. So what I found really helped me was realizing that, comparing yourself to others is probably one of the worst things you can do, because everybody's going through your own unique journey, and what works for somebody else may not work for you. And when it comes to ADHD, especially, everybody thinks, I wish I was normal. I wish this, I wish that. And guess what? You have your own unique brain. Even those that don't have ADHD or aren't typical, or the typical people, everybody's brain works differently. So embrace who you are, learn to love who you are, and do what works for you. I mean, there's going to be a baseline, obviously, as we all know, as coaches and healers. You have to be a decent person, like as long as you're not hurting anybody. Kind of live your life, live your truth. And I had some discussions with people last night, and I've had so much support talking about being on this. And I felt like I didn't have a lot to say, or that I was not a so-called expert, that I wouldn't be able to explain myself very well. And every person I spoke to said, you know, you explain yourself very well, like you're going to do amazing. So really like being, and you are very genuine. And so that's really helpful. Be yourself, because you can't be a people pleaser as I was growing up, because you can't please everybody all the time. No, there's always going to be somebody that's going to not like what you're doing, not like what you've said. So embrace your truth, and you'll find your tribe. They're either going to like you or not like you, and that's okay. They're not going to like you or hang around you. That's fine. You don't need them to, right? So I was the other thing is kind of hang around people that are around your vibration and around your level or higher. So I found this quote. I'm not sure where it's from. It's from a book on somebody else's Facebook page, but it's a little quote, and I'll leave off with that. It says, the people that we surround ourselves with either raise or lower our standards. They either help us to become the best version of ourselves or encourage us to become lesser versions of ourselves. We become like our friends. No man becomes great on his own. No woman becomes great on her own. The people around them help us make them great. We all need people in our lives who raise our standards, remind us of our essential purpose, and challenge us to become the best version of ourselves. And that's what I want to do for ADHD, women with ADHD, or really anybody else, because I want them to become the best versions of themselves. And that's all I have to say.
Wow, Michaela, that was powerful. That is powerful, speaking from the heart, speaking the truth, like, you know, embodying your journey to help others. You can't beat that. So thank you so very much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So as always, please put your comments in the comment, your feedback, comments, any questions, put them in the comments. We might have some time to ask the guests to answer those for you. So our next guest is the amazing Dorela Iepan. She is an emotional coach, certified emotional coach practitioner. She's an author of The Perfect Relationship, a 28 days guide for pure love. She's happily married and has 2 children. She has accepted her mission in life to bring out the light of people's hearts, and she employs techniques such as the emotion code tapping, and the seeding system, and meditations. She is already contributed to the transformation of her clients in over 300 individual sessions and over 50 live workshops. Let's put our hands together to welcome the amazing Dorela.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. I just wanted to know if you hear me well. Everything is perfect. Just to see. Okay, perfect. So this is so interesting because hearing Jen, she was reading my notes. So I'm like, okay, that's perfect. But it's even more perfect because I don't have to repeat the same stuff. And like Michaela said, well, it's very important to be ourselves. So I was beginning to ask yourselves some questions. They were already being asked. And I want to take you a step forward. As you mentioned, the seating system, I won't have the time to talk about everything there. But you know, you already understood that you have to be yourselves, and there will be people who will resonate with you and people who won't. And how do we do to become, it's not the same word, but I really feel that it's the same thing, automatic leaders. So I've participated into a training like this. Here we are leaders and we want to grow communities. And I really think that to find this inner voice, it's not chasing clients. We really want to inspire and see people having light on their facing saying, oh my God, I really needed to hear that. So the first question is, who inspired you? As Jen said, look at people who inspired you. One advice is copy them. You do the same. So I'm like watching people who inspired me. I look even at their posture. I totally love the Emanuela, the thing I was thinking of, the yoga, doing yoga. And yes, it's exactly that. So you look at people and you feel inspired and you take the same actions as they do. Okay, this is one side of the things. You really have to see who your client is. And that's exactly what Michaela said. The client is you. There are millions of people exactly like you. You're not the only one. You are different, you are special, but there are many, many people exactly like you. And there are, exactly like the girl said, behind you or before you. There is always people who have something to learn from you. And now I'm getting to the automatic leader. And I want to share with you 4 simple steps from the seeding systems. And it's very, very easy how you can bring up your inner voice and transform the lives of others. So if you want to take notes, the first step is to decide what you want. Decide how you want to inspire others. This is the object for today, but you can use it for everything in your life. So the first step is really to write down what you want to do. The second step is very easy. Find another person that wants to do something similar with what you want. So Michaela, the thing that brought you where you are today is exactly what you did, because you applied these 4 steps. You were helping others, and that's why you grow, and you grew more and more. So the second step, I'm coming back to my story, is to find a person that you can help and make a plan. How can you help this person? 1 hour per week, not more. And you say, okay, so I want to inspire people. Who do I know that wants to inspire others? And now I'm thinking of Anshu. So she brought us together. She grew this community. I've grown a lot thanks to her. So instead of thinking of her, she puts everything on the table for us. Me being here for the 3rd time, I see how I feel now. I'm completely relaxed. I really want to inspire people, but this is something that Anshu did for me. So she had a plan, and we will see what's next. So you find a person, you will help this person 1 hour per week, and you make a plan. So the 3rd step is to put in practice the 2nd step. So call the person, meet with her, see what you can help her with. It's not, you might ask me for this 3rd step. So I don't feel my inner voice. I am scared to talk to people. How can I help that person? Don't think about that, because the person will be helped because you're there for her, you want to support her, you want to offer your support, and she will grow, he will grow, and we will see what happens in the 4th step. So the last step, because I said there are 4 steps, is to be really, really happy. So there's nothing to do, just be happy for what you did for this person every week. Think of how he or she will inspire others. And there we go. There you go. This is it. You are happy because you know that people are inspired because that person has something to bring out to the world. So I'm going back to Anshu and say, every single one of us is inspiring people. So Anshu supported us, bringing us into a safe place to grow more and more. And I am really confident because I had this opportunity. So Anshu can be really, really happy. And what she does is growing. Her voice is going into a larger scale, and all the business is growing and growing, and we are seeing it as it happens. This, I don't understand what you said. Okay. So doing these 4 simple steps. So decide what you want, find the person that you want to help and make a plan, do what you planned, and be happy for what you do. Think of this rolling, it's growing and growing what you're doing. Be happy for this every single day of your life, and you will become an inspiration for everyone else. Thank you for listening, and I really hope that this brings value for every single one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Dorela. That was amazing. It's very relatable. It's very crystal clear. It's precise and to the point. And I think Michaela said that was spot on. It's like, you know, you're just hitting the nail. Like you, that's what she meant. So I saw you checking yourself thinking, what is that? What is that? But yes, that's what she meant. Am I right, Michaela? Yeah, that is right. So thank you so very much for that. Really do appreciate you. This is amazing. We love it. So let's welcome our next guest, who is called Diane Trascu. She is a positive impact creator, and her goal is to help as many people as possible to follow their dreams and passions, live their life at their fullest potential, and also inspire others to create social impact. She is a digital marketing expert and project management professional with around 18 years of experience working with marketing field like private companies, marketing agencies, and NGOs. Diana helps businesses, entrepreneurs, and NGOs to increase their income through online marketing campaigns, social media marketing, and fundraising, and all the other solutions that that she inspires you with. So Diana is actively involved in Do Good, an NGO community where she is offering her support and marketing and fundraising activities to help the NGO and the people in need. They have over 200 NGOs working with them, and right now they have launched a campaign to collect funds and products for the refugees in Ukraine. So in case anyone here, in case anyone listening would love to help people and make a difference in their lives, you can donate. You can make a donation on a link that will be provided when we share more details with you. So thank you so very much. Got a minute. Right. Yeah, so let's welcome Diana.
Thank you very much. First of all, it is an honor for me to be here today. This is my first time participating to this event. And when I heard the topic of it, I believe that it was my inner voice that told me that I should be here. I really loved this topic. And today I want to share with you a real story, that has happened in my family around 15 years ago. When my sister was in high school, I was at university. I was not staying in the same city with my parents. I was in another city. And at that time, my sister had a boyfriend with whom my parents did not agree. Looking now back, I do not know what was the actual reason that they did not agree with him, because he was a good boy. But there was something telling them that this connection with him, it's not good. So because she couldn't go out with him very often, so my sister was skipping classes. So when she had private lessons, sometimes she was skipping those lessons to go out with this boy. And one day I remember that my mom called me and asked me, do you know anything about your sister? Because now she has to go to her private lessons, but I have my gut is telling me that she will not go there and she's going to see that boy. Do you know anything about that? Well, I did not know anything about that, but when she called me and told me this, I started to tremble. I don't know why. My body was sending me some weird messages. And at that moment, I called my sister and I talked with her and I said, look, I feel that today it's not good for you to go out with your boyfriend, because I talked with mom earlier and she's going to check on you. She's going to come after you. This was actually not true, but this is what I told her. She's gonna come after you to talk with the teacher and she will check you if you are really to those lessons. And I think that you should go, you should actually go to your lessons and not go out with this boy. At that moment, my sister was in the car with this boy and two friends. And when she heard me, she got scared and she asked him to leave her to the place where she had to go to have her lessons. And what happened is that five or almost 10, between 5 and 10 minutes after that moment, her boyfriend, he remained in the car. He sat on the same spot she was staying in that car. He left with the other two friends and they had a car crash and he died. And he died being in the same spot where my sister would have normally sat if she would have continued to stay with them. This event for our whole family was a shock. For me, that moment, I realized how strong our intuition it is. And I realized that when we are in, I believe that when we face this type of situation, we realize sometimes we say, okay, this was a miracle because I escaped. But I believe that this is our gut feeling, our intuition that is telling us that we are in danger and is something that is going to happen. And I think that the real challenge is that how can we recognize this inner voice in our day-to-day activities when we are not in such danger events. So this is why I wanted to share this story. I hope it can be helpful. And I often think that our journey in this world is about finding peace and happiness. But if we manage to find our inner voice, we have everything we need in our system that can guide us in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Diana. That was very good, but again, so emotional as well. We need to follow our intuition. We need to know where there is danger. What is it that we need to do? How do we need to react in situations like that? So it's good that we are speaking about this, because some people may not share, but you get the gist of how powerful our inner voices are, and if we don't speak about this, if we don't share, it will trigger something. This is why I love coming to sessions like this, attending the summits. You get to know, like, it's now triggered something within me from when I was a child, like from just sharing that. Something else is just cropped up and I'm thinking, oh my wow, yes, it was that then. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
So we now have our last guest, who is the amazing Anine Grumbles. She is a life coach, certified hypnotherapist, and she is a Renaissance woman and writer, instructor, and a consultant. She has a PhD in clinical hypnotherapy, master's in transpersonal psychology, and she is in many other forms of health and energy psychology. So she does this, she incorporates it with aromatherapy technologies into transformational workshops, classes, and private sessions. She is retired radiation health physicist, a former regulator of the safe use of radioactive materials and radiation health and safety for Washington State Department of Health. She is also an author of Winemaking, Naturally Supermind Magic, and she has a lot of she is very diversified in what she does. So let's welcome her to share a bit more about her and what she has got for us regarding how we can find our voice to impact other lives as well. So over to you, Anine, now.
Thank you so much. That was a very lovely introduction. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and I'm really honored to be here today. This is my very first time, so this is amazing times, I have to say. So I would ask all of us, including myself, do we have the courage to rise out of our comfort zone and speak up and speak out for what we believe in? Make our voices heard? Do we have that courage? Because it takes courage. I see finding our voice as having octaves of impact. I played around with this word. It kept coming into my mind, and I kept looking at it and seeing as an acronym all of the words that fell into place. And I took those words to bring them into this speech because they were all appropriate. Our voice carries, and our range of impact varies with all of the challenges and the opportunities that we encounter each day, and not so much the specifics of what we experience with, but how we handle them, how we resolve them, how we work with others when we have these experiences. And a lot of that often depends on our resources, where we are in our life's journey, and how much impact we have and bring to those experiences. What I have learned over many, many decades now is that we are so much more powerful and capable than we ever give ourselves credit for, than most of us even believe. We have incredible resources within us. And like Jen said about having our superpowers, I love that because of some things that I've been experiencing and have written about. We never stop learning. With every experience we get, we gain more superpowers. It's awesome. I consider myself a Renaissance woman because I have a diversity of experiences. I have a diversity of interests. I love so many things. I never learned that thing about don't volunteer. They taught us that in the military, but I never really went for that. It was like, oh, I want to do that. I'll do that. Yeah, me. Pick me, please. Pick me. Because with everything that I've experienced, I learned something more. So I've had various careers. And I think I set a great example for my son that women, as well as men, are very valuable. That we can all do anything we want to do if we put our mind to it. And he should know, because at age 20, he was my instructor, and he taught me hypnosis and NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And I was his student. I learned from him. And that's probably an unusual situation for a parent to just sit quietly and learn from the child. Oh, many years later, while I was working full time, I went on and I got my master's degree, as Josephine said, in transpersonal psychology. That's the inner workings of our mind, the subconscious, the unconscious, depending on what you want to call it. I eventually got my doctorate, and I became a part-time coach and a hypnotherapist because I wanted to help others to change their lives, to go beyond their limiting beliefs, to obtain their goals. But I also found that I had to have integrity, and I had to help myself first, because guess what? Ooh, I knew I could help others. I knew I could help them change their unwanted habits, their limiting beliefs that stop them in their tracks, their behaviors that no longer serve them. And I could help them create a more positive mindset. But while some people are uncomfortable with the word imposter, I felt like an imposter, because while I was taught how to help other people, I knew that I couldn't teach someone else how to lose weight until I lost my pudgy little pounds and lost the weight that I had put on while I was studying. I had already still had some of the baby fat from having my son. I had a hard time losing it. I tried. I failed a lot of times, put on more weight. And so I said, I've got to put all this knowledge that I have just learned to work for me before I can help others. So I set my mind to it. I developed a program for weight loss, mostly by starting to write hypnosis scripts, to record them, and then play them back for myself so that I had to listen to them. And then I used all of the techniques that I had learned, that I used in my program for myself, to build my program for others. I lost that 30 pounds plus, and I kept losing weight. My friends and colleagues asked me how I did it. Then I felt qualified to teach others because I had done it for myself. I didn't feel like an imposter anymore. I felt like I was authentic. A few years later, a fellow hypnotherapist asked me if I would merge my program for weight loss with his. And we went ahead and merged our programs and created a 12-week super program for weight loss, one that gets to the heart and soul of why we all retain and hold on to that weight. We went on to teach this course live at a community college in our area. We taught it for several terms until COVID shut us down. And then I have to feel that the biggest impact is yet to come, because COVID provided us with another opportunity, an incentive to transform our live program into an online live program. And I can tell you the amount of work, ooh, staggering. and the tech that I've had to overcome and the social media requirements, overwhelming a little bit, but I'm doing it. I can do this. And that's what I can bring to my clients as well, that can-do attitude. Because more than 2/3 of the population of the world are overweight. And now I have the technology to help them. I can reach all the English-speaking people around the world and help them to impact their health for the better. I can help them choose healthier foods. I can help them have healthier bodies. And I can do this online without even leaving home. Pretty amazing. I can stand for a higher quality of life, because now that we're capable of living longer, I don't know about you, but I want all my faculties there, my mental faculties. I want my mobility. I want my independence. And I know we all want to be physically, mentally, and emotionally and spiritually strong, so that we have our skills to bring to the world. So I'm working to build my business so that I can have a higher impact, to help others, to empower themselves so they can reach their goals. And so I'd really, really love if I could share some really, really exciting news with you today. I'm really so happy and excited because COVID helped me in a couple of ways. I have, with my business partner, we wrote 2 books, The Guide to The Incredible You, Guide to Healthy Weight Loss with Hypnosis. And we're launching our course, our online course, on April 18th, just this month. So how incredible is this opportunity to be able to speak to this? We'll have a live course online, and if I can put something in the chat for you. Yes, it went in. I have my contact information, and I have a free gift for anyone who would like it. I'm offering a free weight loss goals and benefits breakthrough session for all of you who are interested in that. And I thank you all so much. So the contact information is there, and please just put the word breakthrough in the subject line of your email to me, and it's anine.incredible.you@gmail.com, and it's there. Thank you so much for this great opportunity to share with you today. And I would like one more little thing to say, and that is the light within me recognizes the light within you. Thank you.
Wow, and then that was fantastic. Thank you so very much. And for the present as well, goodness me, that's the big bonus as well. So we really, really do appreciate you. That was amazing. That was good, very informative. Your story, how lives can change when we share our stories, when we can be authentic, when we share from the heart, the magic happens. I mean, have you not been inspired by all the speakers? Thank you so very much. So I'm gonna let me say, if you do have any questions, please put them in the comments below. put them in the comments or in the chat. If there is anything you want to ask, please just ask. If you want to come and speak up, unmute yourself, put your hand up, and I can pick you to come and ask anything from the speakers as well. So I think we've got Frankie. There you are. Yeah.
Hi, Anine. Thanks for that lovely talk you did, and I felt your passion there. It was really nice. What was the name of your book, please, Anine? What you said? The names of your 2 books, please.
You're still muted.
You're on mute, Anine. You're on mute.
Thank you. I forget about that. Incredible You.
I do.
Guide to Healthy Weight Loss with Hypnosis.
With what, sort of, with hypnosis?
You have you've mute yourself.
Boy. Okay. Incredible You, Guide to Healthy Weight Loss with Hypnosis. I consider hypnosis the secret sauce.
Okay. And Guide to You. So what was the one, sorry? Guide to Healthy Weight Loss with Hypnosis. And what was the other one, sorry?
I think there is a Gmail, there is some details in here. We are also going to be following up with all of you to get your links and put them together so people can reach out to you. And yeah, so and I hope that we are all going to follow each other, support one another, cheer everyone up as well, so that we flourish. We support one another in any way possible. So we do have our YouTube channel, which is Global Speakers Talk, where we upload these videos for people to come subscribe, leave any comments. And also, if you want to, someone who can be a guest speaker, or if you want to come back, you can fill a form on our Global Speakers Talk website.com. And then you can keep in touch. Otherwise, that is been it for today. It's been an emotional day for me today, but we've pulled through it. So would love to hear your feedback. Would love to know how we can improve things. Would love to know what do we need to do, how this summit has gone for you. We'll be sending you some details as well. If you can email them to us, would really, really do appreciate you, because we want to grow, want to develop, we want to improve as well, and we want to be able to implement, because if you don't share with us, we might keep doing the same thing, and then we don't want that. So that is it for today. Thank you so very much.